Welcome to the Expert CRE Secrets podcast, where we believe most commercial real estate agents, realtors, luxury realtors, they struggle with clarifying their passive income options. Not having a clear plan is the enemy, and using a proven brokerage model such as the eXp Realty or eXp Commercial model is the best way for you to grow your business and your wealth. I'm your host, Brett Swarts. In each episode, I'm joined by some of the best real estate agents, brokers, commercial brokers, and wealth specialists in the world, where they share their ideas, deal stories, and inspiration. So together we can make complex broker strategies simple and passive income plans achievable. Also streaming on capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. You can learn more about the Deferred Sales Trust there. I'm excited about our next guest. She is out of the great state of Maryland, and she is passionate about community outreach and education. And for the past 19 years, she has held a career as a real estate agent. As a visionary leader and self-improvement coach in the greater Baltimore area, she emphasizes education, collaboration, and wealth building. She's currently serving a group of over 72 agents at eXp Realty and as an independent contractor. She previously worked as an employee who tripled the productivity in her office by growing that office to 83 agents. Please welcome to the show with me, Nakia Evans. Nakia, how are you?
I am doing good. Hello, and thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Excited to get to know you a little bit more and to have you to hear your story. So for our listeners who are just getting to know you a little bit for the first time, would you give us a little bit more about your background and your current focus?
Sure. So I've been a real estate agent since 2002. I am a teenage parent of 3 children who are now grown, and they are accountants and general contractors. Right now, I spend most of my time assisting real estate agents at eXp Realty. I provide support, I provide encouragement, I provide motivation, and I partner up with about 73 agents right now at eXp Realty.
Amazing. And so before we dive into your journey and your story to building wealth with eXp Realty, and some of the ways in which you and your team are finding, to grow business and build wealth, I want to take one step back. Nakia, I think we've all been given certain gifts in this life. And I believe these gifts are God-given gifts. Some people call them superpowers or strengths. But I'm curious, maybe go back to those high school days, so those younger days. What are those maybe 1 or 2 gifts you believe you were given, and how does that help how you help and bless people today?
So I think one of my gifts has been to be able to build a business and to run it long term, maybe leave it just a little bit and come back to it. Team building, always creating a team within a business. I like businesses where there are teams or where there are multiple people who succeed together. And just looking back and thinking back, I've been doing that for a very long time, whether it was with network marketing, direct sales, or small businesses, a hair salon, having partners at a hair salon to run a hair salon. And even now at eXp Realty and within real estate itself, just generally working with a group of people, like-minded people who have goals like mine, or people who are going for the same thing that I'm going for. Collaboration is kind of key. But putting that piece into the business world makes a big difference. And I think I was born with that. I've done it multiple times.
Absolutely love that. Building teams, collaborating, connecting individuals, and all doing it together. Is that a fair summary?
Yeah, good summary. Yes.
Very cool. And by the way, you can learn more about Nakia Evans by going to nakiaevans.com. That's nakiaevans.com. For those who want to make sure you're spelling that correctly, if you're listening to this, not watching, that's Nakia and then evans.com. So Nakia, so now let's dive right in, right? So talking about life before eXp, what brokerage were you with and what did that look like? And perhaps what were some of the challenges that you were facing there?
Okay. So I was at Coldwell Banker, and I was actually a broker manager in the Baltimore City area. And I managed 83 agents, or I partnered up with 83 agents. That's key in the world of real estate and brokering. I partnered up with 83 agents. And when I first went to that office, there were 24 agents and maybe 8 agents were active. So I had to rebrand, restart, regrow that office and change the dynamic in the office. And I was able to do that in under 3 years, and really in 2 years, over 2 years, by recruiting. So simply recruiting, getting some new blood in there, getting some new people in there, making change to the office, changing the dynamic of that office, and changing the way that things were done within that office, and make it exciting and fun again. So I was a non-competing manager. So basically, I came out of production. At first, I was an agent at Coldwell Banker and in a different office, and they had a need for a manager in their city office. And I was from Baltimore City, born and raised all my life. And so they approached me and offered me the position. After a while, I did take the position, and I loved it. I loved running an office. I loved running a business. I loved partnering with agents. But I outgrew that position almost. I outgrew the office. In that office, it was a small office, Baltimore City, downtown. It did not fit 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 agents, but I was still tasked with bringing in more. So I got stuck at some point in time. And then COVID-19 hit, and I had time to think. And I had to change something. I had to make a change. And during COVID-19, Rich Thomasini, he was a guest on your podcast, by the way. And
he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
Right.
Yesterday. Just a great guy. Check out that episode for sure. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. So he kind of approached me and told me, hey, I found you in a magazine, and they were celebrating that you brought on all these agents to Coldwell Banker. And if you decided that Coldwell Banker didn't work for you and you wanted to do the same thing for yourself, I think this business model at eXp would work for you. He saw that I recruited 56 agents in my very first year of being a manager. Didn't even know what I was doing, but I knew that I knew how to attract people and get people and help people build their own business, right? And then the second year was 53. So by the time I had talked to him, just going into my third year, I was already at 22. And so when he mentioned this to me, I was like, oh, I don't have time for this. Nobody wants to hear anything. In Maryland, I didn't know anything about eXp at all. I was like, But I listened. I attended a live Zoom. I got some information. I ran some numbers, and just, not at that point, but later on, it became a moment where I knew that I may not stay at the old brokerage and I may need to do something different. And I pulled out a notebook where I had took some notes from talking to Rich. And I was like, let me give this guy a chance. Let me talk to this guy and see what exactly he has going over at eXp. And then I had a hard decision to make, because I went from employment to independent contractor. And that was rough, and that was tough, and that was hard. But I will tell you now, 11 months later, it was worth it. It was so worth it. I'm 11 months and 1 day in and affiliated with eXp, and it was worth it. Everything that he told me was the truth. And I will definitely say he told the truth.
Amazing. It's so love that. And I'll just want to kind of encapsulate a little bit of what you said there that kind of really stuck out. So you actually underwrote it, right? You actually looked at the numbers and digested it. B, you actually heard him out, right? You actually spent a little bit of time going through the model, going through what it is. And then of course you digested that, right? It took you a little while to kind of see what it was and get a feel for that. And then a moment came up. I don't know what that moment was, and if you want to share that, but something happened where, okay, now I want to take a more serious look, right, at this thing. So do you want to share what happened there, or what was the moment that kind kind of pushed you over the edge and say, now I really want to take a peek at this?
I'll say I did not agree with what upper management had in store for me. They had one plan for me, and I had another plan, and we couldn't meet in the middle. That's probably exactly what happened, and could probably in one sentence frame it out. We just didn't agree on the vision that I saw for an office that I was running, or for my broker's license, or for where we wanted to go. Myself and the agents who were in that office, we wanted to go, but we were stopped, and
Yeah,
that didn't work well with me at all.
yeah, and I find that when we're, one of the things at eXp, which I love about eXp, and I'm a commercial broker here in Sacramento, right? Love eXp. Move my brokerage business over to there, even though I am a broker myself. That if you're not the owner or a part owner, or you have actually like stock, then, and when you feel like the corporation is not putting their their agents first per se, right? They have different needs, different challenges, right? Such as a lot of overhead and a lot of middle management and a lot of big lease payments, and individual franchises even have their individual E&O insurance, where when you can consolidate and build a model with eXp where it's worldwide, but then on a national brokerage level in the United States, and cut out the E&O insurance and cut out a lot of the overhead, a lot of that savings can be fueled back into the agent owners versus having to make tough decisions. And again, I don't even know the details of those other things. I just know the challenges that I had too with mine. And so I appreciate you sharing that, and then having the courage to say, okay, something new, something different. So besides that kind of trigger to look at it, what was the other biggest challenge for you to overcome as someone who's running over 80 agents, right, at Coldwell Banker, very successful, doing great? What was the other thing that Rich maybe really helped you overcome that thing that you thought was either too good to be true, or what was that?
It was the vision. So Rich contacted me, and I had to become a private investigator. Okay. So I went online and I did a lot of research. I watched every single YouTube video that he had on YouTube. And then I found people that he was connected with. I did a Facebook search. I did an Instagram. I did his websites. I did YouTube. I just really I investigated him actually more than the company, to be honest with you, because companies, but business partners are business partners. And that's the one challenge, or one thing that real estate agents don't really look into. They go run to a brand, and then they want to brand themselves with that brand. But really, your partner is your partner no matter where you go. So if you have a real estate partner at brokerage A, that same real estate partner at brokerage B is the same person. So the brand is secondary, but a lot of people don't understand that. Even though eXp gives us everything that we need, gives us our benefits, gives us everything, even agents who aren't affiliated here yet, they have a tough decision to make, to say who's going to be their partner, who's going to be their sponsor. But eXp is eXp at the end of the day. So the research really came into, who am I partnering up with? What is his vision? Can I share his vision? Does he have the same vision as I have? Can we go to the next level together? Will we be together in the 3 years that it takes for your stock to vest? And or is it just a dream? Is it just something he's selling? But I believe, after watching him and talking to him several times and just following him, I believed in him just as much as I believed in eXp. I mean, I feel confident enough that I could have made it anywhere I decided to go. But I felt and I believed in Rich Tomasini that he could help me get to the next level where I wanted to go.
Beautiful. So well said. I want to kind of unpack that a little bit, right? I believe I believe this is to be like a truth that multiple leaders have said, that everything rises and falls on leadership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever brand it is, Coldwell Banker, eXp, Keller Williams, Marcus Millichap, CB Richard Ellis. Everything rises and falls on leadership. So who is your mentor? Who is your business partner? Who's the person who's going to help you level up? That's based upon their character, their track record, right? I love that you became a private investigator, right? And probably YouTube, Facebook stalked him, right, for a while. Because you should, right? Like, who is this person? You're about to get into a business marriage, if you will, right? And long term, this is a big deal, right? So you did your due diligence, you became a private investigator, and then you've been able to see that leadership be delivered. Is that a fair summary?
That is a great summary. I couldn't have said it better myself.
I love it. Okay, so now let's talk to the agent that A, you're attracting, or B, that you're trying to encourage, that you're trying to, let's say, sell or encourage to consider the eXp model, right? So what's their biggest objection that you're seeing today, Nakia?
Today, it's the biggest objection I usually get is physical space, which I overcame the need for physical space when we were all forced to work from home by the government. I mean, the federal government, the state government, the local government, all told us that we had to stay home. So we adapted to not having a place to go, not having to get up, get dressed, get in a car and drive. I'm almost spoiled right now. I almost really refuse to go to meetings unless I really, really have to, unless I really, really need to, because I've been adapted to working from home. So that's the number one objection I get. Generally, the tools, the systems, or the other objection I get is that, oh my God, there's so much I just don't understand. But what people don't understand, and here's what we do. We split it up into 3 lanes, lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. You can simply drive in one lane and get to your destination, or you can swing back and forth, change lanes, 5 minutes in this lane, 2 hours in that lane, or you can just stay steady in this lane. So these optional lanes help you to build future wealth. And not everybody wants future wealth. And that's my challenge. It's like, hey, I want to give this to everybody. I want everybody to partake. But if that's not their objective or not their goal, I have to calm down a little bit. I have to sit back and I have to help them with what they want. So the biggest challenge is figuring out for other agents is figuring out, okay, can I just be a real estate agent? Is Nakia going to look at me different if I'm not driving in all 3 lanes? But the agents, the 73 that are with me will tell you, I respect where they are. I help them where they are. I talk to them about where they are. I'm never going to force someone who wants to just sell or be a buyer's agent to go out and list because they want to be a buyer's agent. I'm never going to force a buyer's agent to partake in revenue share. I'll encourage them. I'll mention it. But we aren't going to sit down and have an hour-long conversation about the 3rd lane when you only want to be in that 1st lane.
Wow, so much wisdom there. I absolutely love that. One thing that sticks out for me is a quote by Zig Ziglar. It says, help enough people get what they want and you can have everything you want. I want to adjust that a little bit based on what you just said. Help enough people get what they want at the timing that they want, right? And you can have everything you want. And in other words, don't push. And I'm with you, Nakia. Like, I'm a guy like once I'm like a Taurus versus the hare, right? I'm like skeptical, cautious, gonna see. But then like when I get it, I'm a believer. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is for everybody, right? And 5 years ago, when I was approached with the eXp, I'm a commercial broker, and the capital gains tax solutions is our primary business. Basically, I was looking at this going, A, this is a distraction because I'm not residential, and B, I'm in capital gains tax deferral. That's really my focus. In other words, I was creating these false beliefs of why it wouldn't work and why it just wouldn't be a good fit, rather than underwriting the model and then looking at it that it could be lane 1, 2, or 3, or 4, right? Because you're talking about different ways to build wealth and revenue sharing, right? And or just being in production and or being in coaching and mentoring, right? There's different lanes here, right? But even bigger, like I look on the commercial real estate side of things with eXp Commercial, I have people like, well, I'm actually buying my own deals. I'm syndicating deals, but I'm also an agent, do some side deals. I'm like, well, even better. You have an end network of 50,000 agents that are broker owned, that are sending off market deals that you can connect with and collaborate with, and the leadership and the culture. Like, do you want to see that? And it's like, so don't just put yourself in that all of a sudden I have to be a producing agent. what the beautiful thing about eXp that I found, it's an entrepreneur company, tech-driven company that says, hey, we're kind of, and I heard eXp commercial president say, it's more like, it's not only a real estate company, but it's almost like a incubator for amazing entrepreneurial, visionary leaders. And real estate is one aspect of selling, but it's building that team, that collaboration. So could you speak to just the culture, the collaboration, and how open and freeing it is to work at eXp?
Yes. So when I was a broker manager in Baltimore, I was limited to helping only agents in Maryland. Now, I did expand into DC, which was our neighboring state. But what happened at eXp is that now I can partner with more than those two states, or more than any. I can have 5 licenses in 5 states, right? But I can go outside of those states. Right now, I'm actually partnered with agents in 8 states, 8 different states. And it's amazing. Again, like you say, we have these referral relationships. We have relations where I can learn about the Texas market. I can learn about the Chicago market. Those agents can share with me what's going on, or with our group, actually, what's going on in their markets. And in the moment that someone mentions, oh, I'm moving to Chicago. Oh, wait a minute. We have a partner. I have a business partner in Chicago. You should work with her. Or I get to in North Carolina. I have a new North Carolina broker's license, by the way, and I get to spend time. Thank you. I get to spend time on vacation, but I also get to work. Okay. And I still have that one website, that one brand, that one company. And best of all, if I do transactions in North Carolina and I do transactions in Maryland, at eXp, they go to one cap. They go to one place, so I can get to the cap faster. Like, there's just so many things when you're talking about collaboration, culture, the difference in the brokerage. Like, I'm probably all over the place right now, but that's what eXp does for you. It takes you all over the place, but brings you back in one circle.
Absolutely. Like, I feel like it's the Amazon of real estate. It's a little bit of like the Apple of real estate. It's a little bit like the Netflix versus the Blockbuster of real estate. And for each particular person in different parts of their journey in their career, where they're starting out, or a seasoned agent, or building teams, or mentoring and coaching, or what, all of those different things. Commercial side, if you're doing, a multifamily, doing industrial, you have specialty groups, they are literally changing it. Like Amazon, they started out with books, right? Just selling used books. That's where they started. And then, people say, oh, they're just like a bookstore. Like, no, it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that right now. They're one of the biggest companies in the world. So anyways, if you're listening to this for the first time, or the second time, or the third time, we encourage you to underwrite the model, right? Put your business hat on and literally just sit down for an hour or two and look at side-by-side comparison of selling X amount of houses for X amount of years, X amount of commission, right? The next thing would be innovation technology, right? How is your company doing that for you? Stock ownership. We can even talk about healthcare. There's a number of things to look at, but more than that, looking at building teams and building your business partners and what that looks like collectively, right? So this is coming from me. I've been in the business since 2006 and I've sold over $100 million in commercial real estate transactions. And then Nakia, who's also been in the business for a long time, and has helped and managed over 84 agents. So we encourage you to go and speak with Nakia. Go to NakiaEvans.com. Or if you're looking, you want to talk with me, you can go to expertcresecrets.com. Reach out to both of us. That being said, Nakia, are you ready for the lightning round?
Oh, yes, I'm ready. I've been watching your lightning rounds.
All right. I like that. You've been watching my other stuff. I appreciate it. All right, here we go. Knowing what you know now, if you go back to your 25-year-old self, what's the one golden nugget you'd make sure to tell yourself to do?
I would tell myself to spend more time with my children. Forget about work. There's more with spending time with family and being there for your kids when they're younger, because they grow up and they remember that you weren't there, and they will remind you as well.
Very well said. Which is well received. I got ages 3 to 11, so I got to spend some more time with these kiddos, which I love to do. So question
you
number
can
2.
this model now. You can see.
Nope,
I didn't have
right.
this model. I had a 9-to-5 job, and I had to travel and do these things. But now, if I had eXp when I was 25, oh man.
It's a great point. Time and energy and stress and financial freedom. eXp model, hands down, amazing. Number 2. What's the number 1 book you've gifted or recommended the most in the past year?
So I did a book club actually when I first came over to eXp with about 30 to 40 agents. We read How to Become Your Own Boss in 12 Months. It's by Melinda Emerson, but she gives the framework and she changes your mindset about understanding that when you're running a business, there's things you have to do before you actually succeed in business. So I love that book. And actually, I could pull that book out right now and find something in it for me to do right now. Like there's a to-do list of work that I could actually be doing right now in my business. So it's just not the first 12 months. But if I had to restart a business, and because we did just restart our businesses, I thought it was imperative that we read that book.
Beautiful.
Together.
Become your own boss in 12 months. Okay, check that out. I'm going to check it out. Thank you. Question number 3. What's the number 1 leadership quote or theme that you strive to live by?
All right, so this one comes directly from me. Let's get moving. And when I say that when I wake up in the morning. I say that when it's time to sign contracts. I say that when it's time to join my team. I say that when it's time to move on to the next thing. I say that for encouragement. It means so much. I mean, let's get moving. That means move your business from where you are and come on over to eXp. I mean, it's just so... It's so general, but it's so specific when it's said and when it's brought into the right content. And I say it all the time, even to end a call. I say, let's get moving.
I absolutely love it, right? Because we can get wisdom, we can get inspiration, but guess where wisdom and inspiration goes if you don't get moving? It goes to procrastination and it goes to just die. It goes to the graveyard of potential dreams and opportunities and change of your life if you have the wisdom and the inspiration, but you don't get moving. So I absolutely love that. Nakia, second to last question. What are you most curious about right now?
Well, right now I want to see what my second year at eXp looks like. I'm curious about where I will be this time next year. Next year, it'll be 23 months. And I hear that some of the best times of your life have to be at eXp for about 2 to 3 years. I mean, I'm seeing it. I'm in alignment with people who have been here for 3 to 4 years, and I'm loving what I see. So I'm very curious to see where I'm going to be at on June 25th. I have a date, June 25th. Of 2022. I just want to see it. I'm so curious about where I'll be on that date.
I love that you already have that vision in your mind, right? And you're believing and you're moving and you're going towards that. That's amazing. By the way, I experienced my first eXp live event in Cabo because everything's been locked down. And that was like every month that I'm with eXp, I'm like, oh, they exceeded my expectation again, or they did it again. They did it again. Wow, look at all these amazing people I met. Like it just keeps getting better and better. I don't know if you're going to Dallas with Tony Robbins with a big eXp event, but oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome. The other one is Las Vegas. We're going to be there. Yeah. So amazing people, culture, leadership. Just come and experience it again. You know, Nakia and I are selling hard on this episode because we want you to experience what we've experienced. So just check it out. Come close, experience it. And by the way, 6 to 12 months, you come here. Like if it doesn't work out, just go back to what you were doing before. Like nothing changes, right? Like what do you have to lose? So last question. Okay, enough of that. Knowing what you know now, Nakia, and helping the people that you've helped and the success you've had with real estate from Coldwell Banker to eXp, and raising a family, all of those things. How do you stay centered in your values, and how do you stay encouraged to reach for new heights?
So I had to think about that question the most out of all of your lightning round questions. And I came to empathy and really understanding other people more. I think I can stay grounded by understanding where people are and where they want to go, Or I can stay grounded by understanding other people's feelings, by listening to other people's feelings, listening to other people's pain points, understanding what their goals are. I think that helps me with my values, with my mission, my vision. I think that ultimately helps me is really simply understanding other people, listening to other people, knowing what they want, and then being able to assist them if and when I'm needed. I'm not needed all the time. That's something I have to remind myself too. Everybody doesn't want what we have or doesn't need what we have, even though we share it and we encourage you take a look at it. Really understanding what their needs are first, whether it's family, whether it's friends, whether it's in a relationship or in business partnerships or within your team. Just getting an understanding for people and learning people and getting to know people, I think is the best thing you can do for yourself to stay grounded and to grow yourself and to grow into the next level. I think once you get that under control, once you master that, it takes you through every step of the ladder that you're trying to climb.
That is beautiful, Nakia Evans. By the way, you can find Nakia Evans at nakiaevans.com. That's nakiaevans.com. Nakia, I want to thank you for being on the show, for sharing so much wisdom, part of your story, tons of information, encouraging us, challenging us to join eXp like tomorrow, like today, right? And because I'm a believer with you, and I'm so glad that you've been able to share that part of your story. And so I want to encourage you to keep building teams, keep building people up, and keep encouraging them to change their lives and their business and in their families and everything else. So thanks for being on the show. And again, you can find Nakia Evans at nakiaevans.com. And also, Nakia, maybe some social media. What's some other places they can find you at?
Oh, yeah. So I love Facebook. Well, I find that Facebook loves me the most. And I'm also on Instagram. My hashtag is moving with Nakia. It's my name also. I try to get a little TikTok in and definitely Twitter and LinkedIn. But if you go to Instagram and click the link in my bio, you will find me everywhere and anything, and you'll find free things I have to offer. You'll find events that I'm hosting, and you'll be able to just get in contact with me and talk to me. Set up an appointment. Let's talk. Let's move. Let's get moving. Let's go to the next level together. Let's partner up. Let's create an amazing experience together. I'm ready. I'm here.
Thank you, Nakia. I'm better for having to get to know you a little bit more today. And have a great rest of your day. And I also want to thank our listeners for listening to the episode of the Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, coupled with the Expert CRE Secrets podcast. Our focus and our goal is to help you create and preserve more wealth and or get more time freedom, energy freedom for your business with the eXp commercial model. If you're interested at all, reach out to Nakia, reach out to me about eXp. You can go to expertcresecrets.com or you can find Nakia again at nakiaevans.com. And thanks so much for watching or listening.